He's back. And thank you for the musicians, Janice, wonderful, thank you, inspiring, Rhonda, always a lovely presence. We'll be talking about the autumn. Leaves change, and so do I. I like autumn so much that I decided to be born around this time. Actually, on All Souls Day, which is just past Halloween and not quite Thanksgiving. It is autumn. Nice. How many of you, however, are careful about the other word connected to this time? Fall. I wish you a good fall. The leaves are changing, and so do I. How about you? What can we learn about letting go, about transformations in our personal journeys? I accompany many people on their journeys to the other side. No, I don't work in the hospice, and no, I'm not a doctor. Well, maybe a witch doctor. Witch doctor? Who's on first? That's an inside joke for those of you who watch comedy in black and white. I'm a spiritual hypnotherapist, and I aid my clients to recall past lives and deaths. I have witnessed many deaths this way, but also rebirths. For now, let's focus upon our present lives and transitions. As we look out these windows here, we see the beautiful colors of the fall, of the autumn. And as we drive through these gorgeous hills and valleys, especially at this time of year, every time at this autumn phase, we see the miracle of all of the glorious colors, the changing of the leaves. Golden colors, reds, purples, amazing. All nature bounty. And it has a message. Letting go is natural and can be beautiful. It is a transition. And after every winter comes again another rebirth. Natural cycles, spirals. Some people fight these natural cycles. I know I did. A true story. When I was 25, when I turned 25, on that day, I got depressed. I did the math. I was a quarter century old. Serious. Well, the depression didn't last but a couple of days. Then later on I said, Stephen, get a grip. What are you thinking? You're 25. Wow. But what I didn't know at that time was that a future career for me was to view and to aid other people to view the passage of life and how fast it can go. And we have our youth, we grow up, we may get married, we have children, we get older, we die. The cycle. And I didn't know it at that time. I didn't know it when I was 25. But what I did sense was that there was like a big spiral, and we were all upon it. Life was ticking. Life was fleeting, it seemed, and then over. To be 25 again. Who here is going to die? Okay, just checking. Seeing if we got any denial going on. People who work in hospice, as well as the end-of-life legal procedures, they wish to educate the rest of us to prepare for the inevitable. For instance, do you have an end-of-life kit with a last will and testament, legal documents, important information about bank accounts and funds and passwords? Who here is ready? I'm not. I can preach it. Prior to some deaths, some transitions, there may be a severe illness. There are many approaches to meeting this life crisis, this major challenge, this end game. Allopathic medicine is mostly mainstream, and there are many competent doctors and procedures and medicines that can help us with such challenges. Then there are the alternative methods with Ayurveda, homeopathy, chiropractic, hypnotherapy, and many, many more approaches. And then there is denial. But let us not then lose hope. Allow me to bring back our attention to the inspiration of Norman Cousins. I say bring back because he and his story was fairly well known in the 1980s. Who remembers the 80s? Times they were. Norman Cousins, who was born in 1915, was really a very accomplished writer, editor, later a diplomat, and played a key role in the shifting of the nuclear arms race. He worked with JFK, Kennedy, in the early 1960s, and he wanted people to really get this idea that it was crazy to think that this arms race was going to stop anything. You know, let's stop the nonsense. It was just an end game that wasn't going to be won. But he had so many other sides. He was really quite a special person. And so he did, after that, after actually several careers, he did research on the biochemistry of human emotions and a strategy about how one can deal with fighting illness. It was a belief that he actually maintained after he became seriously ill in 1964 with a sudden onset of a crippling connective tissue disease, which was also referred to as collagen disease. Experts at his rehabilitation clinic confirmed this diagnosis and added another diagnosis to him in the mid-60s of ankylosing spondylitis. Well, you know that's bad. You can't pronounce it. After he was told that he had a 1 in a 500 chance of a recovery, he decided that he better take it on himself, because he was that type of person. He then started his own personal wellness program, taking intravenous doses of vitamin C, and decided that laughter was the best medicine. He would be on a diet of comedy. One of his favorite television shows at that time was Candid Camera. Some of you might remember that show. I remember one particular episode in general. Since then, it's been used in psychology programs, but they pick about 4 or 5 actors, and they go into an elevator together, and then comes the guy, the one that doesn't know, the guy who's going to get pranked, okay? And he joins them. They all go inside of the elevator, and then they all turn to the left, And so the guy is there noticing, I guess I better turn to the left. And then later, the elevator doors open at the top, and they're all right there to the left, him included. Very funny. So Cousin's positive attitude was not new to him. He was a natural optimist, and he's known for his kindness to others and a robust love of life. This is a quote. I made the joyous discovery that 10 minutes of genuine belly laughter had an anesthetic effect and would give me at least 2 hours of pain-free sleep. When the pain-killing effect of the laughter wore off, we would switch on the motion picture projector again, and not infrequently, it would lead to another pain-free interval. His struggle and recovery from that illness, connected with laugh therapy, is detailed in his 1979 book, Anatomy of an Illness. And that was turned into a movie starring Ed Asner. Leaves change, and so do I. I am an orphan. My mother died 2 years ago. My father's been on the other side 17 years. So I'm an orphan. How many orphans do we have here? I didn't expect that. Didn't expect that from me, but hey, Mom lived a long life. She made it to 93. Meanwhile, I've contemplated my own end. I wonder, how is the best way to die? This prayer has helped me over the years. Perhaps it can help you. Lord, may I die peacefully in my sleep, like my grandfather, not yelling and crying like the other people in his car. We are going to take that journey. So let us hope that it's going to be indeed naturally, peacefully, in our sleep, in our bed. My mom actually did it one step better. 1 week before she died, she had a medical emergency and was taken to the hospital, had to spend the night, overnight in the hospital, and it turned out that they couldn't find anything. She seemed to be fine, but all of her friends, and she had many people also on social media, people in Europe and in England and other places she never met, but she was like, hey, how you doing? You know, she was into, I think it was called Farmville, you know, and that was an online media exchange. And once they found out that she was in the hospital, she just received so much love, so much attention. They said, Dawn, her name is Dawn, oh my goodness, we're so happy that you made it. You know, it was a false alarm, you're back, you're recovered, thank you, we love you. She got all of that, and then she died 1 week later. Like, how clever was she? I mean, that's how to do it, one step better. Yes, it's coming. Yes, for each and every one of us. In the meantime, keep living. Which reminds me, there was this really old man who just could hardly walk, and he just goes into his doctor and he says, Doc, could you lower my sex drive? And then the doctor thinks to himself, my goodness, this guy can hardly walk, you know. He comes in here and he wants me to do this. I said, so tell me, what exactly would you like? And he says, yeah, doctor, could you lower it from here? Oh, you like that? Here's another one. Corporate lesson number 3. A sales rep, an administration clerk, and a manager are walking to lunch when they find an antique oil lamp. They rub it, and a genie comes out. The genie says, "I'll give each of you one wish." Me first, says the admin clerk. "I want to be in the Bahamas, driving a speedboat without a care in the world." Poof, she's gone. Me next, says the sales rep. "I want to be in Hawaii, relaxing on the beach, with my personal masseuse, an endless supply of pina coladas, and the love of my life." Poof, he's gone. "Okay, you're up," the genie says to the manager. The manager says, "I want those 2 back in the office after lunch." Moral of the story? Always let your boss have the first say. I understand that there will be cat yoga this afternoon. Yay. Trained bodhisattva cats. This I've got to see. But thanks to cats, I spent a month in England this summer caretaking cats. It was an international exchange program with an online opportunity to take care of other people's pets when they go off on holidays. I said, sign me up. So I was there, again, for a month in England. Thank you. Yay, kitties. So I'm traveling and living and exploring, and I'm glad to be alive. And there's much to be glad about. I'm still living and curious and enjoying photographing. I just have to lower my sex drive. While you're here, remember the words of Mark Twain. Kindness is the language which the deaf can hear and the blind can see. I wish you a good day and week and autumn. Blessings.